The next topic is who is a better pass rusher, Nick Bosa or Myles Garrett? Ooh.
So, am I going first on this one?
Yes,
You can
sir.
start this one.
Whew. I gotta go with Myles Garrett, and to me, I think the thing that sets me over the edge with this specifically is that with Nick Bosa, I think if I were just drafting between these two guys, I would rather take Myles Garrett because I wouldn't be confident in Nick Bosa being on my team every single season. You don't know whether or not he's going to get hurt. We've seen all of his injury history in the past. With Myles Garrett, he's proven his ability to be an elite level pass rusher and a defensive player of the year type guy. Now, Nick Bosa has done that too in his rookie year, but at the same time, that's 1 year that he's proven that. I want to see him prove it beyond them, and I think I would consider this more after seeing what Nick Bosa would do this season, but I'm just going to lean Myles Garrett because I've seen it more with him.
All right, yeah. Listen, I'm going to take this question at face value and nothing more. Pure pass rusher, I'm taking Nick Bosa. I think Nick Bosa wreaks havoc a lot more than Myles Garrett. If I'm talking about a player I would rather have, yeah, I'm taking Myles Garrett because he is healthier. He has proven it longer. But as a pure pass rusher, I don't know many guys that come out of college with that hand skill and the ability to get to a quarterback in a multitude of different ways. You look at guys that normally come out and they have one really good pass rush move. Bosa came out with 3 or 4. And most of the time, a guy can go a whole career. Amin just can't contain himself. A guy can go a whole career without developing more than one pass rush move and still be effective in the NFL. But Bosa does it all as a pass rusher. So at face value, I'm looking at the question, Nick Bosa is better than Myles Garrett as a pure pass rusher.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with Jesse on this one. I'm going with because the way that the question is written here, the question's written as who is the better pass rusher. The better pass rusher is Myles Garrett. You guys need to stop. You're cracking me up, and I see the comment section too, so I've been trying to hold it in. But Myles Garrett's definitely the better of the pass rusher of the two. If you're asking me who the better player is overall, it's definitely Nick Bosa. He's going to be better against the run and everything else. But based on the way that this question is written, Myles Garrett would be the better pass rusher of the two.
I have no idea what's going on. I must be missing the joke or whatever.
Grant's what's going on in the chat. He says, who wreaks more havoc than a man who wields a helmet as a weapon, Jesse?
Wow.
Nick Bosa is better than Garrett at rushing Mason Rudolph, though.
That is insane. So, Grant always coming in and stealing the show, my guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go anti Jesse on this and say, even though I love Nick Bosa, I'm gonna go Myles Garrett as well. And the reason for that is I think we've only seen Nick Bosa play with an elite defensive line, right? So we've seen him, all of his stats, all of his numbers is with DeForest Buckner on one side, and Eric Armstead playing out of his mind. And with that defense that was one of the best defenses in the league at that time, top 2 I think that year. So with Myles Garrett, he's always the center of attention on whatever defensive line he's on. So that means for him to get the type of results that he's getting, he's doing that against double teams. He's doing that against the defense gearing or the offensive line gearing their defense towards his side. And he's still a super productive player. And so to me, that just shows that he has elite ability to still be a highly productive defensive lineman when it comes to sacks and going up against, the best that the offensive line could give him. Now, obviously this last year, I know he had, some help with him, but for most of his career, he was the only guy that people were really fearful of on the defensive line. And he's, proven to be, worthy of his draft pick year after year. So I can go with Myles Garrett.
Thank you, Sunil. Gosh, if that would have been 3 times,
I'm just saying,
left the
man.
show. That would have been it. I'd have been out.
I mean, hey, you could be right. Even a broken clock is right 2 times, and you were right 2 times a day. So that was your 2 times when you agreed with me.
Yeah, I gotta go with Myles Garrett. If you're talking about pure pass rusher, yes, you could say Nick Bosa. But like, I don't know how healthy Nick Bosa was. If I drafted Nick Bosa, I don't know if he would be healthy on my team and he would play every year consistently. Myles Garrett hasn't missed a year. He's played at least 5 or 10 plus more games. I think he hasn't gotten that many. He hasn't been injured that much. He at least plays 10 plus games every year, and he produces at least 10 plus sacks every season. Myles Garrett, he's consistent, and like if you were talking about a pure pass rusher, yes, we would say Nick Bosa. But Myles Garrett has had a bunch of consistent has since he came into the league. He has consistent years, and he's healthy, and the best ability is availability. I agree with Sunil. The best ability is availability, and Myles Garrett is available, and he plays. Nick Bosa, we're basing Nick Bosa off one season that he played, and we don't know. He could come back off the ACL injury, and he could get injured again, or he could put up like 3 sacks, or he could put up 10 plus sacks. So we don't know how good Nick Bosa is going to be next season. We at least know that we're going to expect at least 10 plus sacks from Myles Garrett next season, especially with Jadeveon Clowney on that defensive line. That's going to help him out a lot. So we're going to at least expect Myles Garrett to put up 10 plus sacks. Myles Garrett consistent, and he's healthy, so I have to pick Myles